Has the next Avengers movie found its director?
IATSE is going to go on strike, apparently.
We asked for your movie hot takes, and we're going to read them.
And the box office as well, all on this week's episode of the Movie Nights Roundtable. Hello, Nicholas. How are you?
Good, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, we have new angles.
Ooh.
I don't know why I did it this way. We're just going to try it out.
All right.
Yep. It's going to be a quick show today because we got some big plans to move on, and part of those plans include the following. Our short film Quiver is done. Yes, Quiver is done.
Please clap.
Please clap. It premieres at the Marina Del Rey Film Festival at the end of the month, and then we're going to continue its festival run as we keep going. Please watch the trailer. It's now on the channel. Please support it. Give it a like. Let us know what you guys think. And as more release details come out, we'll keep you informed and let you guys know.
Yes.
But with housekeeping out of the way, Nicholas, take us to our first story.
Our first story comes to us from Deadline. With Deadpool and Wolverine set to save summer, Shawn Levy is on the top list to direct the next Avengers movie at Marvel.
Yes, so this came from Deadline, like you mentioned, and it basically goes on to say that the next Avengers movie is open because it was originally, when it was Kang Dynasty, going to be directed by Justin Daniel Cretton, who had did Shang-Chi, and as it became not the Kang Dynasty, Justin Daniel Cretton left the show to go work on Wonder Man and rumored Shang-Chi 2, which left kind of this new Avengers movie out in the open. And apparently in this Deadline article, they mentioned that months ago, the job was offered to Shawn Levy. You know, apparently they like what he's doing on Deadpool and Wolverine, and he had turned it down due to a scheduling issue because he is EPing and directing some of Stranger Things 5. He also has a Star Wars movie he's supposed to be working on. He has a lot of stuff going on. So he said no. But then they delayed the start of production a few months, so now that option's on the table, and they've asked him again if he'd like to do it. And apparently, while he thinks about it, they are going to go ahead and meet with other directors. The Deadline article and other trades point this out. So with that down, do you think, one, Shawn Levy would be a good choice, and do you think this is a good sign for Deadpool and Wolverine? Because I just see it as marketing for Deadpool and Wolverine, honestly.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely probably helping to boost that. Like, oh shit, this guy's going to direct the next Avengers movie. We should probably go see Deadpool and Wolverine, see what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if we want to take it as seriousness, you know, I think it is a good sign for Deadpool and Wolverine. I feel like if they were not confident in the movie, they wouldn't be pulling stunt like this. They would just probably try to, like in the past, brush it under the radar.
Yeah, 100%.
In terms of being a choice to direct the Avengers movie, I have mixed feelings on it. I think that Shawn Levy is a great director. I think that he has a really solid run. I think Adam Project I wasn't as big of a fan of, but I love the Night at the Museum movies.
Mm-hmm.
I love he has a movie called This Is Where I Leave You, which is really something that really got his name out there, which is a fantastic family drama comedy. Free Guy was a lot of fun.
I agree. I really liked Free Guy.
And when you listen to interviews, I think he's very passionate about what he's doing. He's very enthusiastic about every project. He's always, you can tell, giving it 110%. That being said, I think that while it will work with Deadpool and Wolverine, because I think he's really great at getting these deep, rich character moments from the characters, I fear that an Avengers movie wouldn't enable that much time to really get the characters because it's more of an event film.
Right.
It's okay,
right.
You know all these characters, so now we're gonna watch them fight a project. And not to say in the past, like Infinity War is all character, you know. But I would feel like he would be better suited for a different project, maybe something a little more character focused or an ensemble. Like I'd love to see him make it the X-Men movie. I think he'd be a great fit for X-Men. And I think with an Avengers movie, you really do want some showy aspects as well, you know. And I've always said I think Sam Raimi would be a great choice, to do that, to be able to blend some visualizations as well as these character moments.
No, I agree. And my kind of flip to that coin is I think a lot of that's going to be taken care of by Marvel's art department. And, you know, I feel like they already have the movie storyboarded before the script's even done.
Yeah.
And, you know, also this is coming from a Michael Waldron script, so you have, like, that previous collaboration. So, like, those characters, they're going to learn their lessons from their previous stuff.
Yeah.
Make sure the script is right. Because they tried this marketing stunt before by saying the writer of Ant-Man 3 is going to write Kang Dynasty, and then he's not. So, you know, I think having Shawn Levy be someone to do this, I think, to me, is marketing for Deadpool and Wolverine. But if it's true, it also shows that they do have faith in that project. And to me, it shows that whatever dynamic he brought to that movie is the dynamic they want brought to Avengers.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be exactly the same. They're not going to make the next Avengers movie R-rated. It's not going to be like that. But I do think Shawn Levy has maybe shown that he can handle a big budget multiversal project and complete it well. Because, you had mentioned that, an ensemble would be great. This is going to be an ensemble piece for
60
sure.
60 plus characters, is that what the report was running?
So I don't hate the decision. If I found out he was doing it, I wouldn't be mad. But if I found out he wasn't doing it, I'd be like, okay, let's see who they get. Because, I agree. I personally, just of who I am as a person, I think Raimi would also be a good choice.
Shawn Levy, I think, to sort of sum up my thoughts, I think he's a safe choice.
Okay. That's fair.
I don't know if I'd be overly enthusiastic unless Deadpool Wolverine, blows me out of the water, but I don't think I would be upset by the decision.
Yeah. No, I mean, I see where you're coming from with a safe choice, but I think right now Marvel wants to play it safe, especially
100% if that's what they're going for. But they're not. They're clearly not doing anything drastically different. Where you're like, oh, that's a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get you. But yeah, no, it's interesting either way. What do you guys think about Shawn Levy potentially directing the next Avengers movie? Let us know in the comments as we move on to our next story. This is also Marvel related. One giveth, one taketh away. Nicholas, what's happening?
Yes, and this comes to us from the Hollywood Reporter, and that is the Loki executive producer, Kevin Wright, has exited Marvel Studios to produce original films and television.
Yes, so this is a big loss for the MCU. Kevin Wright, who worked on the Loki show, seasons 1 and 2, and was starting to rise in the company as an executive, kind of working under Kevin Feige, like the Brad Wunderbaum role, which I talked about a few weeks ago on the show, is leaving Marvel because he wants to pursue producing his own projects. And he's quoted saying this, I'm taking it from THR. I'm incredibly proud of my contributions to the MCU and thankful for my time at Marvel Studios and the Walt Disney Company. The industry has changed dramatically during my near decade with the company, and I can no longer ignore my desire to independently produce original films and television. I extend my love and gratitude to everyone at Marvel Studios. So, no ill will there, but also I think he's someone who kind of sees the writing on the wall for what is looking like, and I don't necessarily think this is going to happen, but it's looking like, oh, this comic book movie thing is going to start not being the big guy in town anymore. Yeah. And I feel like he's built his career enough to where he's like, all right, I want to tell these stories. I'm going to go tell them, which, hey, good for him. I want him to go tell those stories also. But at the same time, this is a monumental loss for Marvel, I think. That Loki show is incredible. And of all the people who worked on it, whenever Tom Hiddleston does an interview to promote Loki, Kevin Wright is the one he talks about the most.
Really?
More than Michael Waldron, more than some of the other writers. I mean, which he does talk about them, that's not... But it's his cast members, Kevin Feige, and Kevin Wright. He loved working with Kevin Wright. And I feel like... And Loki, to me, is one of the best things the MCU's put out post-Endgame. I love that series. The second season was even better than season 1, and I thought you couldn't get much better than season 1.
Yeah.
So... I think it's a big loss, but at the same time, I'm happy for him. What do you see this? What do you think?
I mean, yeah, same thing. I feel like this sort of, people talk about superhero fatigue a lot. So, if you want to look at it as a sinking ship, I don't blame him for jumping off of it, and Kevin Feige's really not going anywhere. And it seems like he has climbed the ranks pretty highly. So it's not, he probably doesn't have much more room to go. So I could see him then wanting to take the agency, especially with Loki on his resume of being like, this is what I did. I feel like he has a green light to do a lot of different things just off of that.
Yeah, no, 100%. So sad to see him go. I hope his career does well. What do you guys think about Kevin Wright leaving Marvel Studios? Let us know as we move on to our next story. And Nicholas, nothing bad could come from this, right?
Right. Our next story comes to us from Deadline. No deal yet. Tensions rise as IATSE and Studios fail to seal basic agreement pact. Ruh-roh, Raggy.
So we extensively covered the writers and actors strike whenever those were happening last year, and it looks like there's another strike that could be happening, and this one, folks, would literally shut everything down. With the actor and writer strike, there were still some things that could be worked on, like post-production and all that. Literally, not everything stops. maybe some post-production can keep going, just depending on which crew members in post are IATSE or not. That's really all that happens. For those that don't know, IATSE is the union for everyone who works on as crew on a film set. IATSE is also negotiating with the AMPTP, who did the negotiations for the Actors and Writers Union. And IATSE and Deadline has stated that they've made it very clear that they're uninterested in extending the contract past the deadline that they're trying to work for. As of recording, which is Monday, you're watching Tuesday, no deal yet. So please keep your fingers crossed that this doesn't happen. The industry does not need another hit, especially with the poor performance of box office recently. What do you think about this?
It's crazy. Again, just going off the extensive coverage we did for the actors and writers strike, you would think the studios would be extra cautious because very clearly people are willing to strike and enforces and will not hold down. So the fact that they don't want to reach an agreement on this to avoid it is a little crazy.
Yeah, and I was looking into the main issues because we wanted to talk about like the main issues of the other strikes, and apparently for this one, since it's a lot of like the below the line union workers, they obviously want wage increases, which is with every contract. But also apparently they really want meaningful gains to pension funds because apparently in the last few deals the pension fund gains have been extremely lacking. So they want to make sure that whenever they retire, because doing this job is a lot on your body, it's very physical. Yeah. They want to be able to make sure that they have enough money to continue after they kind of beat the shit out of themselves.
And the Deadline article does say, it's not all doom and gloom, saying that no deal has been reached yet. In a memo to members on Thursday, IATSE wrote that negotiations have largely been productive, with the basic negotiating committee and the studios reaching consensus on a number of issues. So the talks are going positively. It's just taking a little longer to resolve sort of the finer details. Right. Like you said, there are some points that they're being hung up on, and that was very similar to sort of what happened with the actors and writers. When it came to AI, that was really sort of the main point that they could not get over.
100%.
So they are going in the direction, they're not saying, they're unwilling to talk like with the other strikes.
Yes. So hopefully a deal can get reached. The last thing the business needs is another fucking strike. It would go poorly for literally everyone because they're still recovering from the last one. Yeah. We're not even going to see it fully back until next year. That's assuming we don't strike again with IATSE this year. So what do you guys think? Do you think IATSE's in trouble of going on strike? Do you think that they could reach a deal? Let us know in the comments as we move on to an interesting little thing that I wanted to get to here.
Yes.
We asked our audience for their movie hot takes, and here are some of the responses that we got. You guys should be following along on the community tab on YouTube. If you're not subscribed, please do so, where we leave questions to interact with our audience, and so we can read your movie hot takes on the show live, which is what we're doing now. Our first one comes from Dr. Cucumber, who I think I know who this is, and I've had conversations with them about this very thing. They say the Steve Martin Pink Panther movies are GOAT comedies, no more questions at this time. I'm going to let you take this one first.
I think I've only seen the first Pink Panther movie, and it's quite funny. I mean, obviously it's a remake of another movie, but I don't think that anyone has ever denied Steve Martin's comedic capabilities.
Right.
That being said, like the Anchorman movies.
Come on. Yeah, because the phrase that's used is GOAT comedies.
Yeah.
I feel
we're talking GOAT comedies. There's Hangover.
Yeah, no.
Game Night.
You can even go further back to like fucking Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, Caddyshack. Like GOAT. Come on, Dr. Cucumber. I feel like if the point was they're good, because there are a lot of people who just don't like them. Okay. The second one.
To be honest, until I read the comment, I forgot Pink Panther was a thing.
Exactly. Now, the second one, I've only seen it once. I didn't remember liking it, but what I do remember is for some reason, because I was in, like, I think middle or high school when it came out, and the big review, I forget what trade posted the review, but it said that this comedy is declawed, and for some reason I'm like, that's funny. Like, I don't know why, like, that stuck out. Like, but I vividly remember that. But yeah, I gotta disagree. But hey, keep your passion about Pink Panther. Comment it on all of our videos. I'll openly invite that. I'll openly invite you making Pink Panther comments on the videos, and they'll do it. I believe they'll do it. And we got two more, both from a Snarky McCarthy, which, first of all, amazing name. I love that name. The first one says, The Evil Dead is the only good horror franchise.
Ooh.
So can I give you my opinion on this?
Yeah, you go.
I'm going to need some clarification, because if you're saying it's the only good franchise where every entry is good, I see your argument a bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, to me, the second place one would be Scream.
Yeah.
But Scream 3 happened, you know? Which I don't think is as bad as people think it is, but it's not good. Like, it's not great.
But I feel like people, I mean, Army of Darkness had a cult following, but, like,
Right.
I feel like that one could.
But technically,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying you should use Rotten Tomatoes as the
Yeah.
be-all, end-all, but The Evil Dead is the only franchise so far, as of 2024, where every entry is fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, even the show.
Ah.
So, you know, like, and you think about it, like, Nightmare on Elm Street has, I think, 2.5, 3, you could make argument for 3 great movies. The rest of them, you know?
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a tough one to think about. Quiet Place. I know that is a newer franchise, and we have the prequel coming out this summer. But I think if they make 5 or 6 of them and they're all as good as they've been, then there's an argument that Quiet Place is a good horror franchise. And look, by the way, Snarky McCarthy, Evil Dead, we fucking love Evil Dead around here.
Big Evil Dead fans
so,
here.
You know, not upset by that at all.
Halloween, you get some good ones.
Yeah.
But not consistently good. Texas Chainsaw is a mess. It's because they go too far into it. Now, could you say The Conjuring? Or does that entail the
whole
universe?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if we're just talking The Conjuring, I know that 3 isn't that great.
It's not as good as 1 and 2.
But I wouldn't say that it's worse than other franchises.
Yeah, fair. And like, I would even say, technically, The Shining is 2 movies, The Shining and Doctor Sleep, if we're not counting the miniseries that was the remake.
Yeah.
Shining and Doctor Sleep are banger movies, if you count 2 movies as a franchise.
But then it'd be the same thing with Quiet Place.
Yeah, exactly. So
if we count the Quiet Place, I'd count Shining and that.
So if you mean it's the only franchise that all of them are good, I'll give you that. But by saying it's the only good horror franchise, I feel like that could teeter on agreeing with it. But it is a hot take. I'll give you that.
Another one that has 2, but a third is coming out quick. X, Pearl, and Maxine.
100%. Amazing.
Well, I mean, Maxine we haven't seen yet.
We got
but
Pearl
X
right
and Pearl,
here.
100%.
Yes. Yes. Agreed. I like that hot take.
It's a good one.
He threw us another hot take, which I agree and disagree with.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween 2018 was crap from the beginning, not in retrospect of the other movies. That those sequels just added fuel to the fire.
I'd agree with that take.
I disagree.
I would agree
but
with it.
But I don't... So here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
I don't think the movie's crap, like he's suggesting. But I don't think it's amazing. Like, it's nowhere near the first Halloween.
Yeah.
Because there are a couple things in the movie that prevent it from being quote-unquote great. Like, peanut butter on my penis. That line has always tonally stuck out. It didn't belong, not only in that scene, in that movie.
Yeah.
Then you have the storyline with the new doctor with Michael, which was fucking stupid. It almost undercuts the plot of the movie. Mm-hmm. But I think the rest of the movie is pretty solid. I like the 2018 Halloween movie.
I mean, I think it did a good job of building tension. I think that Michael Myers was very intimidating in it, as he should be. And I think they handled him well in terms of what he does and how he kills and why he kills.
Dude, that long take where he's just going house to house fucking people up.
But I mean, everything else they set up and paid off later just didn't work. And they tried to take it in some different directions, which I think was an appreciated effort, but did not work out well.
Where I will disagree, Mr. McCarthy, is I think that had they not made the sequels, Halloween 2018 would still be remembered pretty fondly. I think I agree with the consensus that you're disagreeing with, that I think the sequels not being good have made people retroactively look back at Halloween 2018 and say it's not that good. And while I do think the movie has problems, and I don't think it's as great as a lot of people give it credit for, I do like it. I do think it's a good movie. You know, probably give it like in the B+ range.
I don't know if I'd turn it on specifically to watch it, but if it was on TV, I'd probably stop and watch a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Not the other two though.
Yeah. No, not at all.
But Yeah, but yeah, I mean, there's little details in it that make it good and bad. But honestly, if I want to go the whole, I'd say it's just not good.
But like, to me, the overall concept of Jamie Lee Curtis coming back, because like this kind of started the trend of like, let's make a sequel to a movie where we ignore all the other sequels.
Yeah.
Which became a thing. But this one kind of did it arguably first. There's a couple that came before it, but this is one that made a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
And the idea of we're getting rid of Michael and Laurie Strode being brother and sister.
Mm-hmm.
That's not happening. It was a random act of violence. That's what made it so scary. We have this person who's gone their whole life, separated from their family because they think she's fucking nuts because she thinks he's going to come back one day. Like, I thought that worked really well in the movie. And, you know, it happens. Now, McCarthy, Mr. Snarky McCarthy, if you didn't like Halloween 2018, I bet you feel vindicated as shit that the other two movies weren't that good. But I will say I enjoyed Halloween 2018, but I do see where you're coming from.
It's a hard thing, especially when they planned on killing him the whole time.
Yes.
Like, I think they set up too much. Like, 3 movies to kill him was too much.
I agree. I agree
If
emphatically.
you're setting up in your first movie that we're going to kill him, wrap it up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe a part 1 and part 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like 3, they were just stretching to, like, finish it.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
there was a lot of stretching after that first movie.
A lot of stretching.
But yeah, guys, I loved reading out your movie hot takes on the show. Please be on the lookout. You can leave some in the comments here. We'll also post another one in the community tab, and we'll put dates in them so you know which show it's going to appear on. Yes. So, don't accidentally comment on an old one. But yeah, I love doing this. Please leave the comments of your movie hot takes, and if they're wild enough, we will read them out. Nicholas, guess what time it is now?
The box office. Stole your thunder there. Ho, ho, ho.
Russell, shame this man. I want you to comment and shame this man, Russell.
It would be really funny if you just did it and then just cut out me doing it so that it just looks like you did it the whole time.
Yes, but it's time for the box office.
The box office.
I better see a comment from Russell that just says shame, Nick. He's laughing. He won't sleep at night if he sees it.
That's true.
Do you have our predictions from last time?
I do. Dalton, you had Bad Boys, Ride or Die, Furiosa, Garfield, If, and Apes. I had Bad Boys, Ride or Die, Garfield, If, Furiosa, and Apes. You were really, really pushing for Furiosa number 2.
Furiosa dropped out of the top 5.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No bueno.
No bueno at all for that movie, which is a shame because I love it. I love that fucking movie. But, ready for this box office?
Yes.
Coming in first was Bad Boys Ride or Die, making $56 million. Great opening for Bad Boys.
Really good reviews too.
It has been, yeah.
I never saw the third one, Bad Boys 4 Life.
Yeah.
So I am holding off from going to see Ride or Die until I do so, but I'm hoping to catch it in theaters.
Same. I also still have not seen it. It's been crazy with finishing up the short film and everything. But coming in second was the Garfield movie, only dropping 29% from week 2 to week 3. Coming in third, If, making another $7.8 million, only dropping 25% from week 3 to week 4. I said on the show it was going to have legs. I just want that to be noted.
Found its audience.
Coming in fourth was The Watchers, the new film from Shyamalan's Offspring, making another $7 million in its opening weekend. And coming in fifth was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, making another $5.4 million. Furiosa made $4.2.
Damn.
Now, let's dive into these numbers a bit more, shall we? Worldwide, Bad Boys Ride or Die has $105 million on a budget of $100, so that production budget's already back. Nothing but profitability after 2.5. I think we're going to get that by next weekend, personally. Garfield movie, $192 million worldwide. It'll be at $200 by next weekend. It's already made 3.2 times its $60 million budget. Good for that movie. Profitable. If Don't Call It a Comeback has made $160 million worldwide on a budget of $110. It's at 1.5. So we'll see if it can squeak its way to 2.5. That would be nice if it was able to. The Watchers worldwide has $11 million, 11.6. I don't have a budget for it here, but I can't imagine it was made for that high. I believe it was a low-budget horror film. So hopefully that can continue to be successful. And Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes now has $359 million worldwide on a budget of $160. It's at 2.2. So I'm hoping by next weekend it can hit that 2.5 and kind of squeak profitability there. That 160 number, while not as big as other blockbusters, it is hindering its performance at the moment. Let's also dive into Furiosa here. It made It's only got $144 million worldwide on a budget of 168. Hasn't even hit that production budget back, which sucks. The Fall Guy is now at 165 million worldwide on a budget of 125, so it's at 1.3. It's already hit PVOD. Coming in 8th and 9th this week were the Lord of the Rings re-releases, Fellowship of the Ring and Two Towers. Fellowship brought in 2.4 million, and Lord of the Rings Two Towers brought 1.9 million. And coming in 10th was Strangers Chapter 1, which has made $36 million on a budget of 8.5. So, them's the breaks. Let's go ahead and do our predictions for next week. Did you have any comments on the current box office?
Crazy for Furiosa. Garfield, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's well done.
Yeah. And listen, I think IFK is going to stay in there.
Yeah.
I really do.
Well, now here's the thing. Inside Out 2's next week.
Correct.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy is right.
I think that's the only thing coming out with it. I think any other studio would be fucking nuts to go up against that.
Let me see if there's any counter programming we got going on. Oh, I think Tuesday goes wide. Relatively. It's not going to make a whole lot of money.
All right.
So, do you want to go first?
You can go first.
Fuck, I was really hoping you go first. Okay.
I have mine written out. I'll go first.
Nope.
Okay.
I got it. If I'm the same as you, just tell me.
Okay.
Number 1, Inside Out 2.
Fair.
I know, crazy choice, right?
Wild.
Number 2, Bad Boys.
Okay.
Number 3, Garfield.
Okay.
Number 4, If. I'm going to go Apes number 5. I think it's going to slightly squeak over The Watchers next weekend.
I have the exact same thing.
Shit.
Well, no, let's not change it.
Not change it?
We're confident we can both get right.
And Watchers is going to come in 5th, and we're going to look like fucking idiots.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's okay, everyone.
When do we not look like idiots?
You know what? That's fair. Often. We often look like idiots, both online and in real life. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. Guys, those are the real Monday numbers, by the way. They are not the Sunday estimates because we are recording on Monday today. Also, put your prediction for the top 5 in the comments, and if you're right, we'll shout you out on the show. Nicholas, you got anything else you want to add?
As always, links to the audio versions of the show, as well as our social medias, could be found in the description below. And coming at you this week, we will have a
review for Inside Out
2 review. We'll be seeing that tomorrow. I'm not sure when the embargo lifts fully.
I believe it's Wednesday.
And later in the week as well, there'll be a review for the latest episode of Doctor Who, as we've been doing those.
That is right, the penultimate episode.
Those, I should say.
Yes, so be on the lookout for that. With that down, guys, again, please check out the trailer for Quiver, our latest short film. We'll keep you updated on the release details for that. You can also get updates on our social media pages, as Nick pointed out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.